Alright, we are live once again. Took almost a week off this time, but we are back. We're not actually back in the cockpit of the A320, at least not yet. We are at Adelaide Airport in Australia, and we are checking out this beautiful payware scenery of the Adelaide Airport, and we're just going to make our way down and check things out as we make our way to our airplane today. So we are going to be flying the experimental version of the A320neo by the fly-by-wire team, and they've added some neat new features since we were last in the sim, and I am walking like a snail, so excuse me for a second. I'm just going to increase our speed a little bit. There we go. Yeah, because we have a plane to catch. We are in a little bit of a hurry. But today will be a pretty quick flight heading from Adelaide to Melbourne. Coming through here, checking out this beautiful interior scenery. It's a gorgeous day in Adelaide, Australia. And here we are approaching our gates. Yes, I believe we are 2-4 left tonight. So we'll just hop over this glass barricade here and get our way down this ramp. Hop over this other piece of glass. They don't make it easy. Oh, and look, we're going to have to go through a solid wall. But don't worry, on the other side is a solid metal wall as well, and we're now in the causeway. This is actually just a pretty cool vantage point, kind of walking towards our plane here. I know we're clipping through scenery, but this is still really fun, so please indulge me. Alright, and then here we are on our plane and in our cockpit. How about that? So, let's get out of drone mode and actually back in our cockpit. And let's see if we're seated the way we want to be. I think that's fine for now. We'll probably adjust the zoom a little bit later because we're a little off center on our seat here, but it's not too bad. Alright, so before we get things started up, as you notice, things are cold and dark in the cockpit here. Let's take a look at the new settings they have for us with regard to the audio. Here we are. So we have passenger ambiance. Make sure that's on, and announcements are on. So we should hear when we start boarding in the plane the audio that will pump through that the fly-by-wire team has prepared for us. And I believe the audio is location dependent, so if you're in the cockpit versus if you're in the cabin view, it will be at different volumes. And even when we close our cabin door here later in the pre-flight, it will get quieter. But we'll keep that door open as long as we can so we can enjoy those sounds. But before we get things rolling, let's get some power on in this thing. So first things first, turn on our batteries and get that external power flowing through the thing. There we go. Turning on. We'll get our nav and logo lights on, and we'll get our no smoking and emergency exit lights armed and on. Get some integrated lights going. We'll keep the fuel pumps off and the seatbelt sign off for now, since we'll be refueling. But we do want to get that crew supply on, that ground control on, and get those aiders, those IRSs aligning. Next up, we'll do our fire test so we can activate our APU. Looks like it's all still functioning. Excellent. So let's get that APU started. Master on. 1, 2, 3, and start. While it spools up, we'll go ahead and call some ground services. Get some catering and some baggage going. And we'll just confirm. Yeah, here they come. And here we are in our beautiful Qantas livery tonight. We are Qantas 9084. That is our call sign tonight. We are on the VATSIM network. There is no ATC coverage in Adelaide. There is some coverage right now in Brisbane. So we'll see if anyone comes on to Melbourne on our flight over today. Hopefully we'll get lucky. But honestly, I'm surprised there aren't more people touring New World Update 7. This is why we're here in the first place. We are checking out all that World Update 7 has to offer. We were originally going to go through China on our around the world journey, but once we hit Thailand and we heard that World Update 7 was right around the corner, we decided to divert down to Australia, and we've made it all the way to the southern coast. We'll be heading, as I mentioned, to Melbourne and then to Sydney and then up along the eastern coast back towards China, and we'll get to see all the awesome photogrammetry generated cities. And some custom airport sceneries on the way, like this one right here, which I think they did a very good job of. I hear the APU is spooled up and running, so we can go ahead and start getting our passengers loaded and enjoying some of those ambient sounds. But first, before we get the folks on board, let's get the APU Bleed on so the packs can do their thing. And let's go see how many folks we are carting tonight. 149 passengers, very nice. And start boarding, let's hear those sounds. I don't know if anything's coming through your speakers, but I don't hear anything. Let's hop on back. Oh, there's some music. Oh, I hear some baggage compartments closing. That's fun. Okay, so yeah. I guess there is activity back there. That's pretty neat. Alright, so now that boarding's underway, let's go ahead and continue our cockpit prep. Get these screens brightened up a bit. We'll do our ATIS in a second, but we'll get some of these configured in the meantime. We'll close down that flight director, get some ambient integrated lights on, and we'll shut down these screens since we don't have a co-pilot tonight. We never have a co-pilot on this around the world journey. Alright, so get these screens brightened up a bit. Make sure everything is the way it should be. The clock is correct. Anti-skid is on. Landing gear is indicating down. We have brake pressure. Let's take a look at oil quantity. It looks good. We have oxygen pressure, and we have hydraulic fluid. All looks good as well. Coming down the panel here are throttles in the idle position. We are on Unicom for now. More integrated lighting here. Our weather system is off. Engine masters are off. Engine mode is set to normal. And we are good. We're on standby on the transponder, and TCAS is on standby as well. We have flaps retracted. Rudder trim is set to 0, and ground spoilers are disarmed and retracted. Cockpit door is unlocked for now. Parking brake is engaged. That all looks good. So that initial cockpit prep is complete. Next up, let's get our weather information. But first we should connect to SimBrief. Alright, oh, they made subtle updates to how the METAR shows up. So we'll just write this down for reference. So we are at Yankee Papa Alpha Delta, and latest report is 2 o'clock Zulu, which I believe is about 45 minutes ago. Get my UTC clock on. Yeah. And wind is 120 at 11 knots. Cav OK, so that is ceiling and visibility is good, and 31 degrees, dew point 11, QNH is 1015. Excellent. So we'll just head to the glare shield, we get that QNH in. I'll plug it into my radio panel here. That was 1015, and that is good. Alright, next up, let's take a look at our operating flight plan. Make sure everything here looks good as well. So we are heading from Adelaide to Melbourne. We're expecting about an hour in the air, departure time of 5 past the hour, and it gives us about 20 minutes to get out of here. Should be more than enough. Okay, max shear rate is pretty low, so not expecting too much turbulence. We are expecting runway 23, and given the wind, doing the math in my head here, that pretty much gives us a direct crosswind on takeoff, but not too bad. Via the Bendo 2 departure, we are arriving via the RB6 Alpha, and expecting runway 27. We'll see if that's still appropriate once we're in the air. Let's see, triple pause is nice and high. We have a tailwind at 26 knots, which will be nice. Cosmic 15, flight level 390, all looks good. Let's take a look at our block fuel. We'll need 2.3 to our destination, and it looks like about 0.6 for our alternate. Our alternate tonight is Yankee Mike Alpha Victor. Not sure what airport that is, but we could look it up on the way. Let's take a look at the weather. We know the weather here is fine, but let's look at the reported weather at our destination. Did I pass it? Ah, here we go. So in Melbourne, we are looking at also recent METARs, so 190 at 9 knots, good visibility, broken clouds at 2000, a bit cooler there. Everything looks fine, although they are expecting between 3 and 6 Zulu, some light showers and rain, so there might be some weather by the time we get there, but we'll see. Doesn't look too bad overall. No significant weather, yeah. I think we're good. So I think the fuel recommendation is fine. I don't see a reason to take anything extra. So we'll go ahead and load up 4.8. So 4790 to be exact. 4790. Quick 2 minute of fueling since we're pretty close to the quantity we needed. Great. That all looks good. Let's go over our charts that we'll need. So going back to the operating flight plan, we'll want to pull up some Navigraph charts to help us here. We'll go ahead and load it up from SimBrief as well. Alright, open charts list for Adelaide here. Get some airport info. And I don't think we need anything else. Let's just look at this real quick. Yeah, no, that's fine. We don't need to look at that for this flight. For our Saturn instrument departure, we are looking at the Bendo 2. And let's take a quick look at what this entails. So we are taking off runway, I'm already forgetting, 23, so heading this way. So initial climb out is 2500, so let's go ahead and get that into the box here. And I'm using my Bravo throttle quadrant to plug that in. 2500. Let's see. And then we'll, okay, let's read the track here. So track 222 to Colby, then cross Colby at or above 2500, so we want to overfly that. We'll make sure that's specified when we load in the flight plan. Turn left at track 134 to Sully, cross Sully at or above 5000. Turn left track 77 to Morph, cross Morph at or above 6000. Track 77 to Clarity. I'm not sure if when it says cross, if that mandates an overfly, but let's play around with the overfly function and see how that impacts the flight plan. So track 77 to Barca, cross Barca at or above 140, track 7 to Murray, and for Bendo, from Murray, turn right track 119 to Bendo, and thence as cleared. So since we're clearing ourselves out of Adelaide tonight, we are just going to fly the SID as directed at these altitudes, just for fun and practice. And then once we clear Barca, then we'll clear ourselves up to the cruise. Alright, that sounds good. Transition altitude is 10,000. No additional speed restrictions. So that all looks fine. Great. Let's look at our taxi route tonight to runway 23. So we are here at 24 left, and we'll probably push back, and we'll take Lima to Alpha 6 to Bravo 2. So pretty short taxi tonight to our runway. All right, very good. So with all that, looks like we are done refueling. Our IRSs are done aligning. We are still progressing on boarding. So let's go ahead and start setting up the box with what information we've got. Starting with data, IRSs are all on nav. And AC status, this is the last day of this ARX cycle. We are technically in the new ARX cycle, but I don't believe it's quite available yet from Navigraph, so we're going to treat this as current. Here's the init A page. We'll do our init request to make sure everything pulls in properly. So yes, Adelaide to Melbourne. Our alternate is Yankee Mike Alpha Victor. We are Qantas 984 tonight. Flight is level 390, causing next 15. That all looks correct. Tropopause, I just like to pull the exact one from the flight plan. 52029. Because I know the flight plan, I think, calculates an average tropopause for the trip. I'm not sure where the A320 gets their tropopause from, so I just default to the OFP. Oh, hey, Ivan, welcome back. Good to see you again. All right. Where were we? Init A. And next to flight plan, let's pull this in. So this looks generally right. Bendo, Hindi, Danks, Apple. Bendo. Oh, I see. Yeah, Yankee 12. Yep, that looks good. We'll go ahead and put in our departure information. Runway 23, Bendo 2, and insert. See how that looks. All right. So there we are, heading to Colpi. There's that left turn. Sully, Morph, Clary, Barca, and then Murray, and then to Bendo. And we'll go ahead, we have that duplicate waypoint again, so we'll go ahead and clear that up. And that all looks good to go. All right. Next up, we got our rad navs, and we have the ILS already in there. And let's see if there are any other rad navs to track. I didn't recall seeing any. This all looks to be GPS, so yeah, no additional rad navs needed. We will take a look. May as well do the realistic thing. Let's get an approach chart up for this runway in case we need to do any emergencies here, and this is tracking distance to the ILS, so we'll use this. And here, yeah, there is the Adelaide VOR, so we'll go ahead and get that in. Just check our missed approach. We don't need it for the missed approach, but it's always good to have additional navigational aids programmed in case the unforeseen happens. What was that? No, actually, we're heading to Melbourne tonight, so it might be very straight ahead, but hopefully it will be scenic, if not a bit easier. All right. I really don't know what that sound was. I don't know if that was the sound pack or if that was coming from Twitch or YouTube.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the flight deck, on behalf of myself, your captain, the first officer, and cabin crew, I'd like to take this time to welcome you aboard our flight. We're just wrapping up some paperwork up front here and waiting to see final numbers from the ground crew, then we'll be on our way. Flight attendants will be coming through the cabin shortly with a very important safety briefing. We do ask that you give them your full, undivided attention as they review the safety operations of this Airbus aircraft. We do appreciate your business having you aboard this flight. If there's anything we do to make your flight any more enjoyable, please don't hesitate to ask. Welcome aboard.
That was super cool, and totally took me off guard. I already forgot that the fly-by-wire team added those sound packs, and that must mean that our boarding is complete. So let's just double check. Yep, and that's exactly what happened. So it must be once boarding was complete, those announcements were kicked off. That's super cool, and totally scared the shit out of me. All right, so next up, in a B. Our weights should be accurate now, 58 even, and that's about right, yeah. So plug that in. Our block fuel tonight, 4.8. And, oh yeah, we have a tailwind. Was it 2.4 knots? 2.6 knots. And get the rest of those fuel numbers in. We're looking at contingency of 0.6, alternate 0.6, and then 1. So 0.6, 0.6, and 1. And that gives us an extra 18 minutes of fuel. Fantastic. All right, and now my favorite part is calculating our performance. So I am a big fan. I follow EasyJet Sim Pilot. He is fantastic. He puts out these wonderful tutorial videos about the A320. Just also very soothing voice, very nice to listen to, very relaxing, but you also learn a ton from him. And he is working on a performance calculator that he'll be releasing in a few weeks. So hopefully I'll be able to retire my spreadsheet pretty soon, which I'm sure is not entirely accurate, but it is fun to play around with the figures. So until that tool is available, we'll keep using this spreadsheet I have. So first, let's input our runway parameters. Since performance calculations are a combination of weather conditions and runway characteristics. So we are looking at runway heading of 222, elevation nice and flat, let's call it 18 feet above sea level. Length of this runway in meters is 3,100. Should be nice and long. Wind, what we say, 120 at 11. Outside air temperature pretty hot at 31 degrees Celsius. QNH 1015. Runway conditions are dry. Takeoff weight in tons is 63 tons. Flex takeoff configuration 1. We'll turn the packs off for this. And our center of gravity, looking at the fuel prediction real quick, 24.8. And there we have our flex figures. So we are going to be configuration 1, and our trim is up 0.8. Flex temp is 68 degrees. And thrust reduction and acceleration altitude and engine out acceleration altitude both look fine. Transition altitude is 10,000. And our V speeds, 147 for decision speed, 148 for takeoff, and 148 for a single engine. And there we go. There we go. Alright. So we're getting pretty close to preparing for pushback here. Let's go ahead and get the ground crew rolling. Well, actually first, let's get the, I was about to call it the gangplank. Let's get the jetway away. And we're on APU, so we'll go ahead and disconnect from external power, and we'll get rid of our guy. And they're moving away. Excellent. And let's get that ground crew hooked up.
Cockpit to ground. This is ground. Stand by.
Alright, I'll do truncated brief.
Okay, sir. The bypass pin is installed. All doors and hatches closed and all ground equipment is removed.
The parking brakes are set. You may lift.
Parking brake set. Lifting the aircraft. Standing by for pushback.
Alright, so let's do our before start checklist to the line. Cockpit prep is complete, fuel is set, gear pins and covers are removed, and nose wheel steering disconnect is indicated. Signs, let's get our strobes to auto, turn our beacon on. We have...
Flight attendants, armed doors, and cross-check.
Wow, cool. Get our fuel pumps on. And everything there looks good for signs. IRSs are on nav, fuel quantity is set, takeoff data is set, BioRef is set, before start checklist down to the line. So at this point we would get our pushback clearance, but since we'll be clearing ourselves, we'll go ahead and continue with the before start checklist. Wow, alright, I'll just let that run while we keep going. So windows and doors are closed, beacon is on, thrust levers are on idle, parking brake is as required, and before start checklist is complete. Adelaide traffic, Qantas 9084 at stand 24 left, pushing back and starting our engines.
Cockpit to ground.
Go ahead.
We are cleared for start and push. Parking brake set.
Okay, cleared for push start. Please release parking brake.
Parking brakes are released.
Commencing pushback. You can start the engines in sequence.
It will start in the sequence.
Now we got the clock running, ignition, engine 2 start. See where we're going. We'll say the frames are hurting quite a bit with the scenery, so I'm trying to look out at the mountains there to help with that a bit. Getting about 30 frames per second at the moment. Alright, engine 1 start. Alright, that's good enough.
Okay, pushback completed. Please set your parking brake.
Parking brake set.
Parking brake set. Lowering aircraft.
Ground. Startup is complete. You may disconnect.
Roger. Good engine start. Cleared to disconnect. See you at the side. Have a good flight.
Holding position waiting for the visual. Thank you and goodbye.
Alright, I'm going to adjust the seat position a bit, because it's not exactly calibrated the way it should be, so pardon me. I took a photo of my settings. I flew the 787 for a second. I know that's technically cheating. But I need to practice, because I want to do Cross the Pond in about a month's time. And I can't do Cross the Pond with the A320, unfortunately. It just doesn't have the range. Where is this setting? Alright, there we go. So, camera settings, we had horizontal position at 52, Oh, that looks better already. And zoomed in a little bit. I had it 62, but let's do 60. That might be comfortable as well. All right. There we go. That sight picture looks a lot better. Okay. Great. So after our checklist, anti-ice is not needed. ECAM status checked. Pitch trim is set. Rudder trim set to 0. Let's go ahead and get that APU bleed off and shut down that APU. So our nose lights taxi. That all looks fine. Let's go ahead and get our flaps into configuration 1. We're going to squawk 7,000 until we're given a code. We can set that to standby now, why not? Flaps armed. Ignition, engine mode back to normal. Let's lock that door for now. And make sure we have our trim set, so that was up 0.8, and we'll quickly do our flight control check. Full left, full right, neutral, full down, full up, neutral, and rudder disconnect, full left, full right, and neutral. Excellent. Set auto brake to max. And I think that is good for now. Parking brakes is armed. Let's roll to the runway. Alright. I turned a little early there, but not a huge problem. Alright, we'll get our weather system on. Very nice scenery. Alright, slow down for this turn. I'm going to be under 10 knots when we do these 90-degree turns. And there we go. That might have been a bit late, but let's see. Yeah, that was a touch late, so if I split the difference, I'll be good at this turning thing. And we lost all our forward thrust. Alright, so before start checklist flight controls are checked, flight instruments are checked, briefing is confirmed, flap settings are set, V-speeds are set, ATC is set, ECAM memo.
Flight attendants, please prepare for takeoff.
ECAM memo, no blue. Alright, so from here, let's get our landing lights on, takeoff lights. And before takeoff, below the line, takeoff runway is confirmed, cabin crews advised, TCAS, TARA, engine mode selected is normal, and packs are off for this flex takeoff. Before takeoff checklist complete. Adelaide traffic, Qantas 9084 at runway 23, taking off runway 23, Adelaide traffic. We'll do one more 90-degree turn. Alright, start that turn here. Could have been worse. Could have been worse. That's good enough. Alright, take off. And 1 to 50%. Man, flex SRS runway. Knots. Feeling that wind already. V1, rotate. Positive rate gear up. Packs back on. Those lights off. And thrust climb. Ah, thank you. Haven't found my flight plan yet, so I'll go to autopilot so I can do that. That was embarrassing. Oh, nope, oh, we do have ATC. Well, it's not showing up. Alright, well, let's figure this out. To 5.3. Let's get spoilers disarmed and flaps up. See who this is. That's a frequency I see. Melbourne Center, Qantas 9084. Inbound Sully 2500.
Qantas 984, g'day, Melbourne Centre. Sorry, inbound to where, sir?
We're crossing Sully out of Adelaide Airport, heading to Melbourne tonight.
Qantas 984, yeah, roger. I've got a flight plan here that says your departure from Ayers Rock to landing in Adelaide. You may want to update it if you can.
Oh yeah, I'll give that another try. Thanks so much.
2,500.
Qantas 984. And Qantas 984, just confirm, can you squawk 3636?
Squawk 3636, Qantas 984.
Jetstar 778 by the start descent to 5,000.
By the start down to 5,000, Jetstar 778.
Melbourne Centre, Qantas 984. We've gone ahead and refiled that flight plan.
2,500.
Yeah, Qantas 984, I'm not sure it's because of the system, so you may need to log off and log back on again to refresh the system.
We'll do that. Thanks again.
Okay, Qantas 984, the flight plan has come through, sir. Just verify your level now.
We are 600 for 7,000. Qantas 984.
Qantas 984, you identified. Climb to flight level 390.
Flight level 390, Qantas 984. Go to standard pressure there.
Qantas 984 for separation, sir. Can you turn right heading 130?
Right heading 130, Qantas 984. Is there other traffic in the area? There is.
Just 778 by the start descent to 4,000.
By the start 4,000, Jetstar 778.
Qantas 984 from resume own navigation from present position, track direct to Bendo, planned route.
Direct to Bendo, planned route, Qantas 984. All right. So we are on our way. We're clear to our cruise. And we're expecting to arrive in just under an hour. So I'll want to, since we are going to have coverage all the way, I do want to prep our, at least our star. well in advance. Let me just double check that came through on the flight plan. They might assign us one. Let's see. Let's see what if there are other RB approaches. We'll clean this up. Yeah, so it depends on the runway. So let's see if there's an ATIS available in Melbourne. And there is. So we're to expect ILS approach runway 16, which I think is that different from our flight plan? Yes, it is. So we're going to probably get the RB6 Alpha to runway 16. That's my guess. And we'll load up runway 16 and just see here. Yeah, that's the ILS. Oh, it's the Cat 2, Cat 3. This is probably what we'll do. Alright, excellent. And we're going to RB. Oh, that's going to be a nice straight in. Okay. Belt, does that connect direct? Yes, it does. Oh, that's nice.
Jets 778, you clear the ILS runway 23 approach, report established.
Oh, he's going to
23, we'll go Jets 778.
What did the ATIS say? The ATIS say 23. I guess we'll just keep listening. I'm suddenly quite nervous. We have time to figure things out. Just pulling up the VATSIM map. Oh, you know what? That message was for, yeah, that was for Adelaide. So, like, I don't think it's typical. I think the controller's just opting to control for Adelaide as well, because Melbourne Center doesn't actually cover that, at least according to this.
Jetstar 778, established silence 23.
Jetstar 778, runway 23, clear to land.
Clear to land 23, Jetstar 778.
Yeah, so that wasn't meant for us. We may still get runway 16 in Melbourne. Once we're a bit closer, though, we'll get our ATIS information. I'm sure we can probably get it pretty soon. Once we're at cruise, we'll figure all that out. Oh, I'll get that seatbelt sign off now. Alright, take a bit of a breather and enjoy some of this ride. Ooh, moon's out. Man, you know, I come on here to relax, but I don't know, VATSIM sometimes just, it's nerve-wracking on occasion. I feel out of practice. Didn't even do the after takeoff checklist, but we got it all done anyway.
Melbourne Center, Jetstar 778.
778, go ahead.
778, my apologies, we're just disconnected there.
That's a Jetstar 778, understood.
What happened to Jetstar 778? Well, there is a bunch of traffic heading to Melbourne tonight. So let's just see where they are at the moment. Oh yeah, we'll probably be the first to get there. We'll see if this controller stays on for that entire time. Alright, getting close to our cruise. Just getting familiar with the chart in case we get specific instructions, but I still think we'll get this RB6 Alpha.
Just 778, vacate runway 23, bay 25.
Just 778, taxi to the bay, cross runway 1230.
Taxi to the bay, crossing runway 12, just 778, thank you.
Do we need to assign our own bays? Let's see. We want the airport info. And the parking bays, look at that. So let's see. We're doing runway 16. Yeah, I guess any of those is fine. Let's just say Echo 7, if we have to choose it ourselves. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and see if we can request an ATIS. Sorry, not there. For arrival, that all looks right. Oh, landing lights. 10,000 feet checks. There's the message. And there's our ATIS. We'll print that for reference. And we'll go ahead and program our approach, since we're about 40 minutes away. 1018, we can always update it later if it does change. Temp 23. Let's see, winds 170 at 9. So 16 makes sense for runway. And we'll prepare the rest once we know our runway. Because we're doing ILS, we may get a radio minimum there. Alright, we are at Mach Alt Star. Alt Cruise. Very nice. And for our flight plan, when should we expect descent? .28 miles past Danks. we are on our way to Hindi. We got some time.
Ladies and gentlemen, once again to the flight deck, your captain speaking. We've just reached our cruising altitude for the flight. As it begins to settle in, I do want to remind you to please keep your feet elbows clear from the aisle as the flight attendants will be coming through the cabin with galley carts shortly. Also, one more reminder to please refrain from congregating near the front galley where the flight deck door is located. Thank you.
I guess it's Information Quebec.
Qantas 984 Starklet's available.
We're ready for that clearance.
Qantas 984, you're cleared the RB6 Alpha arrival, runway 16, and when ready, descend to flight level 210.
Cleared via the RB6 Alpha for runway 16, altitude 210 when ready. Qantas 984. So I think we wanted the ILS Z, or Zulu, RB6 Alpha.
From the flight deck, ladies and gentlemen, as you may have noticed, we have begun our initial descent down to our destination. Now would be a good time to wrap up any business you need to take care of as we prepare for approach. If you are up, once you return to your seat, we ask that you remain seated until the aircraft arrives safely at the gate. Flight attendants, please prepare the cabin for a ride.
Interesting, got belted twice. Is that the... Oh yeah, that's the transition. So I think we'll get rid of the final belta there. That looks better. And... let's see, any rad navs? We want Melbourne. Mike Lima. That's good. And we want to check minimums here. Let's see, 100 feet. Okay, nice. We're all set. Alright, so let's do a more fulsome briefing here. So, we're probably going to be assigned altitudes on the way in. There'll be speed restrictions, but if we do fly the Star, we'll want to be at 230 knots and below 9,000 feet by Tunka, below at or above 4,000 feet by Lassol. At Belta, we'll want to be at 185 knots, so we'll definitely be configuring by then. So at Belta, if we're at 185 knots, we'll intersect that at 3,000 feet and intercept the ILS there, and just a straight-in approach. So Belta is what, about 12 miles. Lassol is 3 miles from Belta, so 15 miles. And let's message him back. Oh, I just got a lesson. How that affect our arrival time? Didn't really affect it much at all, so that's fine. So let's plan a new descent, just in case we need to reference it. Our initial... So we want to be at 9,000 by Tunka. So 38 nautical miles from Tunka. And the radius is 38 nautical miles, so let's just round it up to 40. And that's our new top of descent. See how those other planes are doing. I'm looking forward to hearing more pilots on the channel. I feel very exposed being the only pilot online with this controller. Well, I am now officially crossing into his airspace.
Qantas 984, contact me on 123.75.
123.75, Qantas 984. Melbourne Center, Qantas 984 with you at flight level 210 inbound Apple.
Qantas 984, descend to 9,000, QNH 1018.
Descend to 9,000. Qantas 984. Set that QNH. So he's prepping us for the star. But nice and early. 35 miles earlier than we needed to. Alright, so let's do our descent checklists. Oh, their approach checklist. No, we're not quite ready for the approach checklist yet. But we will. So yeah, since we're going below 10,000, let's get our seatbelt sign back on. Let's also confirm runway 16, nice and long. We'll do low braking for that. Those clouds look amazing tonight. Oh, they look really nice tonight. And still getting decent frame rates. Registering what, about mid-40s?
Qantas 984 by the start, descend to 8,000.
By the star, descent to 8,000. Qantas 984. Now the question I immediately have is if I have the star, I can descend to 8,000. Now. So I guess, do I get to 8,000 now? Alright, well, we're slowing down at 250 knots now that we're approaching 10,000. Get that up there. We'll plug in 8,000.
Melbourne Centre, hello again, just 775, request clearance to Melbourne.
Just 775, good day Melbourne Centre, you're cleared to Melbourne by Bendo planned route via the SID, climb to 5000, runway 23, Bendo 2 departure, squawk 4424 and departures on 125.3.
Cleared to Melbourne by Bendo planned route, Bendo 2 departure, runway 23, climb by the SID 5000, squawking 4424, departures 125.3, just 775 Bay 25.
Just 775.
Alright, leveling off at 8,000. Alright, so approach checklist briefing is confirmed, ECAM status is checked. Lane distance is confirmed, seatbelts as required, barrel ref is set, minimums are set, and engine mode selector is
Just 775 Bay 25, request push.
Just 775, push approved.
Push approved, 775.
We have another pilot on. About 25 miles to RB. Looking at the runway, we'll expect probably to exit at Golf. If it's not Golf, then Juliet.
Qantas 984 by the start, descend to 5,000.
Descent to 5,000, Qantas 984. So, oh hey Ivan, welcome back. Oh yeah, dark mode's great. So we have ATC coverage tonight, and I've been making
Just 775, request taxi.
been making a fool of it.
Star 775 taxi to holding point Bravo 2, runway 23.
Taxi Bravo 2, runway 23, just 775.
We do have speed restrictions, but you know what, this is going to be inconsistent because it's not all the way through. So once we get to 230, I'll just get speed mode on, so I don't need to worry about it. We'll just follow the star. Still well above green dot speed, but once we're inbound to Belta, well, we'll probably want to start configuring. I see. Yeah, we can configure pretty much any time after Tunka.
Qantas 984 via the start, descend to 3,000. From Belter, you cleared the ILS runway 16 approach, report established.
Via the start, descend to 3,000, cleared for the Belta ILS approach, will report when established. Qantas 984.
Qantas 984.
Just 775, ready, runway 23.
To start 775, contact me airborne, runway 23, clear for takeoff.
Clear for takeoff, runway 23, just 775.
Alright, so we'll descend to 3,000. Let's get our landing system on. And at this point, I think we can start configuring. So let's activate the approach.
$2,500.
And we'll go back to manage speed.
2,500.
Radio altimeter is alive. Arm the approach. Cat 3 single.
So just 775, airborne passing 2,300.
2,500.
Establish localizer.
775 identified, via the suit, climb to flight level 370.
2,500.
Via the suit 370, just 775.
Speed check flaps 1. Those speed brakes, gotta slow down a bit faster. Speed checked flaps 2. Gear down. Alright, we're good now. On the speed brakes, we'll go ahead and arm them. Speed Alt Star. The glide slope is above us still, but getting closer. Runways in sights.
Flight attendants, please prepare for landing.
Melbourne Center, Qantas 984, report established, runway 16.
Qantas 984, runway 16, clear to land.
Clear to land, Qantas 984. Alright, we're about 7 miles.
Just 775, Tanner.
775, go ahead.
775, I've got track shortening direct to Bendo if you want.
Yeah, we'll take direct Bendo, just 775.
Just 775, cancel SID from present position, track direct to Bendo, plan route.
Cancelling SID,
Speed check,
track
flaps
direct
3.
Bendo, just 775, thank you.
And flaps full. Landing checklist, cabin crew has been advised, auto throttles and speed, auto brake as required, ECAM memo, landing no blue. Landing checklist complete. Yeah, the gear down's pretty intense. And I absolutely will be getting that 737. It looks absolutely awesome. Like the entire cockpit is completely customizable. And the exterior. Like it's just, that looks just so well done. I mean, don't get me wrong, the freeware fly-by-wire is amazing value given that it's free, but yeah, that 737 is definitely worthy of pay where it looks like. Alright. Let's focus on landing this thing,
1,000. 1,000.
How's that wind? Okay, it's pretty much head on. Alright, I think we'll fly it in from here. It's been a week. We'll see if I'm still rusty. Just watching that sight picture. Getting a little high. getting too low. Chasing that diamond there. There we go. That feels a bit better.
500.
Just those trees seem really close.
400. 300.
Melbourne Centre, g'day, Qantas 242 information, Romeo on the ground at Melbourne and Quest High to Sydney.
100
Qantas
above.
242, g'day Melbourne Centre. You're cleared to Sydney via Dassault planned route. By the SID climb to 5000, runway 16, Dassault 1
Minimum.
departure.
Continue.
Squawk 6077 and departures with me on 123.75.
40. 30.
Cleared to Sydney via the
20.
Dassault planned route, Convoy at 5000, runway 16, Dassault 1 departures, squawk 6077, departures 123.75, Qantas 242.
Qantas 242.
Reverse green. Decel. $70 knots. That was pretty good, I think. Alright, flaps up. Spoilers disarmed. Lights, taxi. Weather off. Decast to standby.
Qantas 242, request push.
Qantas 242, push approved.
Push approved, 242.
Melbourne Centre, Qantas 9084, clear of runway 16 at Gulf for Bay Echo 7.
Qantas 984, taxi to the bay.
Taxi to the Bay, Qantas 9084. Alright, landing system off, flight director off. Clean that up. And let's roll. And we're just going to go straight down Gulf, and then left on Sierra, and then a right towards the bay. Oh my god, I feel so relieved. I always feel like ATC is going to shout at me.
Just 775, request room into cruise flight level 350.
Just 775, climb to amended flight level 350.
Flight amended 350, just 775, thank you.
Qantas 242, ready for taxi.
Qantas 242, taxi by Alpha to holding point Charlie, runway 16, cross 0927.
Taxi Alpha to the Charlie holding point 16, cross 09 of Qantas 242.
We'll let that guy go. He's heading to Alpha. Yeah, I don't think Center realized that Echo 7 was like right by that guy. But anyway, they're clear, so we'll continue. I guess the latest clearance wins when there's a conflict. So, you know, they said taxi to stand.
Melbourne Center, g'day. Velocity 738 with you, flight level 340.
Velocity 738, Melbourne Center, g'day.
Alright.
Velocity 738, just advise you indicated airspeed, sir.
Echo 7's the second one.
Indicated it's currently 256. We can increase if you want.
Sorry, did you say 256?
Yeah, AFM.
Yeah, roger. Velocity 738, increase speed to 290, thanks.
Yeah, we can do, highest is 280.
Just confirm 280?
Yeah, AFM, velocity 738.
Yeah, 738, that'd be appreciated, sir. So can you just increase your speed to 280?
No, it's increased speed 280, velocity 738.
A little off center there. Oop, that broke too hard. Jeez, I'm so sloppy. That's what happens when you don't fly for a week. Oh, come on. And I definitely need better scenery. This is awful. I expected Melbourne to be handcrafted for World Update 7, but I guess not. Anyway, parking brake engaged. We never started our APU, man. Look at me. Let's get that connected. That APU spooling up. And once those engines shut down, then we'll call in and say goodnight and thank you for the service.
Melbourne Center, g'day, just 439, flight level 340.
Just 439, g'day, Melbourne Center.
Melbourne Center, Qantas 9084 on the blocks at Bay Echo 7. Thanks for the service and appreciate the feedback tonight. Thanks again.
Qantas 984, pleasure, sir, and see you next time.
Alright, we'll get that clock turned off. And we'll do our afterlane checklist even though we missed it. Freaking VATSIM makes me so nervous. Flaps retracted, spoilers disarmed, APU is on. We would have remembered if we did the checklist. That's why the checklist exists. Radar and predictive wind shear system is off. Parking checklist. APU bleed is on. Engines are off.
242, Charlie 416.
Seatbelts are off. Exterior lights. Beacon come off.
242, contact me airborne, runway 16, clear for takeoff.
And fuel pumps can come off.
Contact Runway Airborne, runway 16, clear for takeoff, 242.
Let's watch this takeoff, actually. There he is. 'Cause, you know, the VATSIM velocity, it now refreshes super quick. So I want to see him go and see if it actually... Oh wait, is he gone? Oh no, he's still there. Let's see how well this VATSIM velocity actually works. So yeah, I think before the position would update like once every 5 seconds, and I think it might be inverse. I think it updates 5 times every second. So this takeoff should look really smooth as a spectator. I just wish I had more liveries installed because model matching doesn't seem to be picking up what this guy is. Alright.
All stations on my frequency. I'll be away from the set for about... disregard standby.
Oh no, no, no! That was the button I did not want to push. Alright, well we won't get the close-up I wanted, but that looks pretty smooth. Except that light looks really wrong. Yeah, the lights are all messed up, but... Yeah, the positioning looks great though. Yeah, it's just weird with the lights.
Qantas 242, airborne passing 1,600.
Qantas 242 identified by the SID, Qantas to flight level 390.
Up to 390 via the SID, Qantas 242.
Alright, well
All station my frequency, I'll be away for about 2 minutes.
Alright. Well, he was very nice to us tonight, really do appreciate that. Let's turn that off and start shutting everything else down. So, for the securing the aircraft, let's get started. So first we'll turn our IRSs off. Crew supply is coming off, fuel pumps already off. We'll get the lights off. Navin logo's coming off as well. Keep the APU on until the last second. Let's get these screens shut down. So this is all like I believe intended just to extend the life of all the equipment. Oh, yeah, we turned that off already. So we had about an hour and 20 minutes of engine time, which fits. Parking brake is engaged. TCAS and radio's off. We'll turn that integrated light off. All the switches look like they're in the right position. And at this point, we'll go ahead and, yeah, I think we'll shut down that APU. It'll take a few minutes. So Apu Bleed is off, APU Master's off, and we'll just run through that securing the aircraft checklist. So brake temperature is checked, didn't need to. IRSs are off, oxygen's off, APU Bleed's off, emergency exit lights are off.
All stations, Melbourne Centre is back.
Signs are off, APU and batteries off.
Velocity 738, star clearance available.
And Velocity 738, go ahead.
Velocity 738, you're cleared the RB6 Alpha, arrival runway 16, when ready, descend to flight level 210.
Ah, so there's another plane coming up.
Cleared the RB6 Alpha, arrival runway 16, descend flight level 210 when ready, Velocity 738.
Let's see how far they are. Because if they're close, I might just hang out and watch the arrival. Because you know it's nice when there's a lot of people online. Like it looks like there's another. Yeah, there's a lot more traffic coming in now.
And Velocity 738 on descent, are you able to make indicate the airspeed of 300 knots?
Velocity 738, we'll have to just wait and see. We can do maximum, we'll try and do max the whole way down if you'd like.
Yeah, roger, so it just needs some sort of indication what that max speed is.
Velocity 738. Currently it's showing target speed of .73 for our Mach speed. But 738, we could increase that to .8, possibly.
Yeah, that would be appreciated, sir. If you can do .8.
You know, I think there's a plane.
Yeah, copy. We'll try .8 and we'll just let you know if that needs to be changed.
738, appreciate it.
Yeah, there's a plane right behind him. So there's so this will be a bit of a traffic situation. All right, yeah, no, let's definitely stick around for this. I have a few more minutes to kill.
Start clearance available.
Just a 439, go ahead.
Just 439, you're cleared the RB6 Alpha arrival, runway 16, when ready, descend to flight level 210.
Runway 210, RB6 Alpha, runway 16, just a 239.
Just take a look. It looked like there was another airplane at the airport with us. Maybe at the stand, not seeing anything. But yeah, let's wait for this approach. I think where would be a good place to watch this landing? Probably further up the runway. Maybe to the side so we can pan as a plane passes us. Maybe at the touchdown zone, we could predict where we think the touchdown zone is going to be. And I'll check VATSIM here. Keep an eye on how close they're tracking. Yeah, Australia airspace is suddenly pretty active. I mean, it definitely looks like there's supposed to be another plane here. I just don't see it. Alright, so to recap what's going on, we just landed at Melbourne and we landed in a pretty active evening on VATSIM, more so than we're kind of used to. And there are two planes coming in, Velocity 738 and Jetstar 439, and they are basically tracking each other. They almost look like they're following each other. You know, they're a bit further away than I thought. They're about 100 miles away, but I mean, yeah, we'll probably be hanging out for about 10-15 minutes. And I'll just use it as a learning opportunity to learn more about how to work with ATC, what the communications are like, what the responses are like. I never know if I'm giving the right amount of information. Like, for example, when he cleared us for the ILS, I think when he clears one of the one of the points he provided us the QNH, and I just replied with the descent instruction, but did not read back the QNH. I think that's correct, because I know you don't read back the weather, and I would consider QNH an input to the weather. So yeah, that was the rationale there. All right, so yeah, we're looking downwind on runway 16. Just waiting for those pilots to come through. Oh, the question. Will I still hear them if I'm cold and dark in the airplane? That's the question. So actually, let me hop it.
Velocity 738. Oh, yes. Descend to 9000, QNH 1018.
QNH 1018, and descend 9000, velocity 738.
Okay, so he read back the QNH. I guess it's better to read back more than less. We'll see what the other pilot does.
Just 775 star clearance available.
Just 775, go ahead.
Just 775, you're cleared the RB6 Alpha arrival, runway 16. When ready, descend to flight level 250.
RB6 Alpha, runway 16, when ready, down to 250, just 775.
Alright, just our 775. Ah. Oh yeah, we're getting 3 planes inbound for 16 right now. 2 are tailing each other pretty directly. And then Jetstar 775, who flew the same plan I just did, is coming in as well. So this will be fun to watch. Let me see if I can get the VATSIM map on the stream. So we can watch this. Watch this madness. Watch this ATC genius control these guys in. Alright, let's see. I'm about to stretch my knowledge of Streamlabs right now. Oh yeah. There we go, and let's... Can I crop this? Because now you can't see anything else. So you can see that, and let's... I guess zoom in. So let's see.
Jetstar 775, just advise you indicate airspeed, sir.
Jetstar 775 indicating roughly 265 knots, or decimal 78. We will be slowing down in 14 miles.
Yeah, roger. Can you reduce speed to not above decimal 75?
We're reducing to 74 at the moment, Jetstar 775.
775, thanks.
Alright, so that's the guy coming from Adelaide. Here are these two.
And Jetstar 439, just advise us you indicate airspeed on descent.
Yeah, just 439, it's at 263. We can go back to managed speed if you want.
Jetstar 439, negative, just keep up the speed, sir.
Yeah, just 439, my managed speed would be at 270.
439, thanks. Velocity 738, contact me on 123.75.
123.75, velocity 738.
And Jetstar 439, contact me on 123.75.
123.75, just 439. Sending good day, just 439, descending flight level 210.
439, thanks.
Alright, so they should be coming in pretty soon. I see Jetstar 775 approaching from the west. Here I am at the bottom of this map screen I have set up. Suspense is crazy. The controller's doing pretty well though. Like, there's going to be 3 pretty quick landings, and I wonder if he already knows like which sequence they'll be landing in. He's paying a lot of attention to speed, which makes sense. They're pretty well separated altitude-wise. But Jetstar 439 is gaining on velocity 738. Jetstar 775 is moving fastest among all of them, but they're also at the highest altitude.
And so now just 775 for information. We're estimating Delta time 59.
775, thanks.
Estimating. That sounds like a waypoint. Delta. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Just 775. Descent to 210. Correction. Flight level 210, and just advise you indicate airspeed.
Descent 210, and we're going to be maintaining 280 for the descent. Just 775.
Roger. Can you reduce the speed to not above 240?
We'll start slowing down and let you know how we go. Just 775.
Trying to figure out why that pilot kind of volunteered that
velocity
information.
738, just confirming cancel speed below 10,000.
738, affirmative, sir, and you can descend by the start to 8,000.
Descend by the start 8,000 and then cancel speed below 10,000, velocity 738.
Just 439, descend to 9,000, QNH 1018.
9,000, 1018, just 439.
Alright, they're getting close.
Just 775, we'll go ahead switch 12375.
Say again, 775?
775, we're going to switch frequency 123.75.
Affirmative, sir, 775.
Yep, because they're now in Melbourne Center airspace. Switching frequencies, that makes sense. Jetstar 775 seems like a pro. Four, 331, 381. They're going to keep decent spacing there. It looks like Jetstar 775 is probably going to fall behind.
Jetstar 775, descend to 10,000, QNH 1018.
10,000, 1018, Jetstar 775. And if it's any help, we're happy to enter a hold at Apple for spacing.
Just 775 at this stage, it's not a problem.
I think he wanted the hold. I think he definitely wanted to do the hold. No one just offers to do a hold for spacing. Come on. Yeah, I have 150 passengers back here. I'm just going to hold at this point voluntarily. I'm curious why he chose Apple. I guess there is no hold point on the star. There's a hold point on the final approach. Yeah. I wish I could see more information about if I could tell whether he's actually flying the fly-by-wire, because of course the fly-by-wire team added the hold functionality like a couple weeks back. But again, I wouldn't just volunteer hold. Yeah, spacing's going to be fine. Like these landings are going to happen a few minutes apart, but...
Just 439, descend to 8,000.
8,000, just 439.
And 439, you can cancel speed restrictions by 10,000.
Cancelling speed below 10,000, just 439.
Velocity 738 by the start, descend to 5,000.
By the start 5,000, velocity 738.
Yeah, he has them. Yeah, pretty nicely spaced. Jetstar 439 is going to slip right in between. Jetstar 775 is slowing down. They're all at comparable speed, so the spacing should maintain.
738, resume normal profile descent speed.
I'm reducing normal profile velocity 738.
Alright, so they're going to start slowing down. Yeah, because right now he's moving the fastest of all of them just to make sure he gets ahead, he gets in first.
Jetstar 439 by the start, descend to 5,000.
5-star 5,000, just 439.
Velocity 738 by the start, descend to 4,000.
By the start 4,000, velocity 738.
Jetstar 775, descend to 9,000.
9,000, just 725, and can we get the Q&A here?
775, everything is sweet, sir, not a problem.
Just 775, can we get the Q&A please?
Oh, 775, sorry. I thought I gave it to you on when I, 1018, sorry.
I believe you did give it us, but we've got 1018, just 775, thank you.
Yeah, I'm curious about this Jetstar 775.
Velocity 738, by the start, descend to 3,000. You cleared the ILS runway 16 approach, report established.
Descend 3,000, cleared ILS approach 16 and report established, velocity 738.
And Jetstar 439, resume normal profile descent speed.
Normal profile speed, just 439.
Yeah, he's just crossing 10,000. Going pretty fast. Alright, once velocity 738 is established, I'm going to get back on the visual and we'll wait for him to come in.
Jetstar 775 by the start, descend to 6,000.
By the start 6,000, just 775.
Yeah. Really good spacing, really neat.
Just up 439 via the start, descend to 4000.
Via star 4000, just a 439.
Oh, is that a plane at Moorabbin? Might be.
Just up 439 via the start, descend to 3000. You cleared the ILS runway 16 approach, report established.
Cleared ILS, runway 16 approach, descend via star 3000 and report once established, just over 439.
Just 775, resume normal profile descent speed.
Normal speed, 775.
And velocity 738 established ILS.
Velocity 738, runway 16, clear to land.
Runway 16, clear to land, velocity 738.
Alright, not seeing them yet in the sim. Yeah, but I think at this point I'm going to kill the radar and we'll just go to visual. It's getting nice and close to the runway. See how quickly we could turn. Oh, we could turn pretty fast. That should be good enough. Okay. Let's watch him approach. They are out there somewhere.
Just 775 via the start, descend to 5000.
5000 by the start, 775.
Oh, I see the lights. Get a touch closer. They'll probably touch down.
Just 775 via the start, descend to 4000.
By the start 4000, just 775.
Yeah, this is probably close enough. It's pretty faint, but I think I see The plane's behind him as well.
Melbourne Center, just 439, we are established runway 16.
Just 439.
Not clear to land yet, because there's traffic in front of him. Makes sense. Alright. We need to know...
Just 775 either start descend to 3000 from Beltier, clear go, that's runway 16 approach, report established.
Descend 3000 while star from Beltier, clear the ILS 16, just 745.
I wonder if there's pressure on the lead plane now, like if he botches the landing, he'll force a go around. But here he comes. There's the flare. And touchdown, nose wheel is down. There you go. First customer is down. Pulling off the runway.
And velocity 738 vacated left on a Golf Quest Bay Echo 5, please.
Ah, he's going to be next to us.
738, taxi to the bay.
Taxi to the bay, velocity 738.
Just 439, runway 16, clear to land.
Clear to land.
Runway 16, clear to land, just 439.
Because he reported clear of the runway, so I did that correctly. That's good. We're all learning here.
Melbourne Centre, this is Diamond Lima Golf Charlie, overhead Albert Park Lake at 1500 feet with hotel, requesting clearance for a landing at Essendon.
Lima Golf Charlie, just at this moment, so stay outside controlled area. I will advise clearance.
Okay, staying outside controlled area, Lima Golf Charlie.
He's flying VFR. I haven't encountered someone flying VFR in this yet. I need to look into like what tools you use to do VFR sim, 'cause I'm not sure if I guess you could use sky vector charts. I think that's a global service. Alright, well here comes the next flight. This one is an A320. We may get like a random livery on this one. If they're doing the fly-by-wire. That looks pretty generic. And the lights are still wonky.
Melbourne Center, QJet 1765.
What was that?
Station calling, standby. Just 439, can you exit on Juliet as soon as possible, sir?
Yeah, just 439, we'll vacate left Juliet.
Juliet? Yeah, because he has to vacate to clear the next plane to land. How close is it? Yeah, he went all the way, he missed golf. Ah ha ha! So I had a better landing. I'm taking anything I can get. Is he going around?
Just 775, runway 16, clear to land.
Just 735, we're in the missed approach.
Ah.
775, roger.
Because he wasn't cleared in time. There you go, my friend. Coming back around.
Just 775, maintain runway heading, climb to 3000.
Runway heading 3000, just 775.
Oh, because that guy didn't get off at golf.
Hey Melbourne Centre, just a 439 on Juliet, request Golf 42.
Just 439, taxi to the bay.
Taxi into the bay, just 439.
You can't really fault anyone. I mean, the guy offered to hold, declined. The controller spaced pretty well. You know, he probably could have advised the Jetstar to target Juliet. Sorry, to target Golf for exit. But at the same time,
Just 775, turn right heading at 250.
Right 250, just 735.
yeah, at the same time, you got to fly safe. You know, you got to.
Lima Golf Charlie, Melbourne Centre.
Lima Golf Charlie, go ahead.
Lima Golf Charlie, sir, what did you want to do at Essendon? You just wanted to do just a full stop there, or did you want to, what were your intentions at Essendon, sir?
Yeah, I'm just going to do a full stop landing. I'm just practicing for a flight review coming up. Lima Golf Charlie.
Roger, Lima Golf Charlie, standby 1.
Standby 1, Lima Golf Charlie.
Lima Golf Charlie, squawk 1675.
Squawk 1675, Lima Golf Charlie.
Qantas 242, have you handled us over yet?
Sorry, station calling, say again?
Qantas 242, have you handled us over yet?
Qantas 242, sorry sir, there's no further ATC service available. Radar services terminated. Contact Unicom 122.8. Cheers.
Over to Unicom, have a good day, Qantas 242.
I don't even know where Qantas 242 came from.
Lima Golf Charlie identified. Track direct to Essendon as planned.
Track direct to Essendon as planned, Lima Golf Charlie.
Just 775, turn right heading 340.
Right 340, just 775.
So we have a neighbor. That was nice.
Melbourne Centre, Jetstar 212 with you at flight level 360, 6 miles from Snelly.
Just 212, g'day Melbourne Centre. Just advise us of your squawk code, sir.
Squawking 0201, Jetstar 212.
Just 212, thanks.
Yeah, I guess, yeah, I think New Zealand was online before.
Lima Golf Charlie, what runway are you tracking to, sir?
Tracking for 17, Lima Golf Charlie.
Roger, sir. From your position, you can track to left base runway, correction, left downwind runway 17.
Track left downwind runway 17, Lima Golf Charlie.
And Lima Golf Charlie, maintain 1,500.
Maintaining 1,500, Lima Golf Charlie.
So he's an actual pilot. He said he was preparing for a flight review. It's pretty cool. Oh, sounds like my neighbor just shut down. Jetstar 775 is taking a big, wide berth. Was he forgotten about? What's the misapproach procedure? Let's take a look.
Jetstar 775, information is now current. Information uniform is now current. The only change is the wind is correction. QNH is now 1017.
Top of the current is 1017, Jetstar 775.
Yeah, so it's basically just directed by ATC.
Lima Golf Charlie, downwind runway 17.
Lima Golf Charlie, runway 17, clear land.
Clear to land, runway 17, Lima Golf Charlie.
So, Lima Golf Charlie. So there's an airport just to the south.
Jetstar 775, request visual approach 16.
Roger, Jetstar 775, you've cleared the visual approach, runway 16.
Cleared the visual 16, Jetstar 775.
So when you're cleared the visual, I believe that means that you basically... ATC is no longer guiding you, you are guiding yourself. And that just reduces the workload for... Actually, I think it probably reduces the workload for both ATC and the pilot. And therefore they're responsible for their own spacing as well. There, I see the flashing lights. That must be Lima Golf Charlie practicing for his flight review. Good luck, sir. It looks like he's on the ground, Lima Golf Charlie. Or is he flying downwind? Oh, because he's doing runway 17, so no, he's flying downwind. Right downwind. Some more drone speed. I want to see this if I can. Where is he flying? Like a diamond? There's runway 17. Look pretty high, bro. Really use that runway. Alright, well. Let's head back. See if we can catch that Jetstar coming in, and then we'll call it a night. I really should have gone to bed ages ago, but this was just too much fun. And we're learning, right? We're hearing radio communications, we're getting a feel for things. It's all good. Back in Melbourne International. Our friend disconnected. I think Jetstar is still flying around. Let's see.
Jetstar 775, runway 16, clear to land.
Clear to land 16, Jetstar 775.
Alright, so Jetstar 775 is at flight level 32. Clear to land for the visual.
Melbourne Centre, this is Diamond Lima Golf Charlie on taxiway November. Request clearance to the apron.
Until Lima Golf Charlie, taxi to the apron.
Thank you very much, Lima Golf Charlie, and I appreciate your help. Thanks.
Lima Golf Charlie.
I wonder if Lima Golf Charlie was expecting more robust instructions.
Thanks. It's meant to be on Wednesday, and I don't think the weather looks good. Predicted thunderstorm, so we'll see how it goes. Lima Golf Charlie.
Just 775, can you get a wind check?
Jetstar 775, the winds are 190 at 12 knots.
Copy, Jetstar 775.
And he is, looks like he's on the straight in. Oh wow, real tarmacy. Look at that texture up close. Alright, here he comes. Did he just crash?
Oh no. 775, request roll out, Juliet.
Just 775, roll through to intersection Juliet.
Roll through to Juliet, just 775.
So he wanted to go all the way to the end. What is going on here? Who's that supposed to be?
Vacant at Juliet for Golf 48.
Just 775, taxi to the bay.
Taxi to the bay, 775, good day.
See ya.
Ah, so he's not even stopping, he's just going straight to the bay. Probably doing his post-landing on the roll. This guy is definitely a veteran. Learned a lot from him today, which is pretty cool. This guy clearly just gets glitching, but I guess doing his pre-flight. Alright, I think we've had our fun. I'm going to end the stream just to see if the drone is fast enough. I would love to do zoom level. I'd love to do a flyby of downtown Melbourne, because this is a one of the photogrammetry cities, I believe. I might do a special VFR flight while we're here. One of my favorite YouTubers, Steph Drury, who has a channel, he lives in Melbourne, and he flies a Cirrus SR-22 out of Moorabbin Airport. And I was thinking of doing an SR-22 VFR flight around downtown Melbourne out of Moorabbin in honor of him. You know, he really inspires me to get my PPL at some point. So, and hopefully in a Cirrus. We'll see if that comes to be. Alright, well these outlying buildings look terrible. But, alright, some of these skyscrapers look pretty good. Some of them. Or is it texture, is it... Oh, you know what? It's still, it's streaming in. Got anything else? Let's see. It might be as good as the resolution's gonna get. So downtown Melbourne. Some of this still looks pretty janky, but like this part of the city looks better. Yeah, so I guess it's only some of the buildings, but I mean, honestly, like they're rendering the whole city, so like it's still a hell of a technical achievement. I can't really be too critical of it. Yeah, so that overall looks pretty good. Alright, well I think we'll probably call it a night there. We'll head back to Melbourne International. Let this texture pop in. Flying Qantas 984 tonight. We'll be heading to Sydney next time from Melbourne. And yeah, it was a good night on VATSIM, good night with ATC, learned a ton, and hope to do it again next time. Thanks again for tuning in. And before you leave, hit that subscribe button. Do appreciate it. Cheers and good night.